Alrighty, decided to take a drive up to the summit of Mount Onkanunik. Used to be kind of a ritual for me. I'd come up here all the time, either if Uber was slow, or after pizza delivery, or just to go for a nice drive. Take some pictures of the abandoned houses up here. So here we go, and I need to go. Which way is it? I believe it's to the left here. God, it's been a while since I've come up here. I believe it's this way to go to Summit Road. Man, am I gonna have to put the GPS on? It's been a while. And that three-way intersection has always been confusing to me. I get it. For whatever reason, I get it backwards in my head sometimes. I believe I'm going the right way, and Summit Road should be over here on our left, coming up just a little bit. And that's the way to the top. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. I don't have Alzheimer's yet, so that's good. Use your turn signals, especially as a BMW owner. I try to use them, because the stereotype is that we never do. That's more of a stereotype for the modern paddle shift driving, that sort of contingent. But anyway, yeah, this is Summit Road. This is going to bring us all the way to the top, the very peak of the mountain, by all the radar towers and radio towers. Not radar, excuse me, the radio towers. The radar installation is down the street in New Boston. You can actually see it from here. You can see the Space Force station from here. It used to be Air Force, but now it's Space Force, which is pretty awesome. Have a Space Force sign right here in New Hampshire. Yeah, this can be a treacherous road in bad weather, because it's a very steep incline. The few people who are lucky enough to live up here, as awesome as that is, it must be a little bit nerve-wracking when this road is iced over, because this is not a road you don't want to go sliding into the ditch here. It's going to be a bad time. Yeah, we're getting near the top here. There's the rock over here. There's a famous rock people put all kinds of trinkets on. Usually it has like a smiley face made of pebbles or some other nonsense. Anyway, here we are. There's the radio towers. I'm being told, I was told by people on YouTube, actually, in YouTube comments, that the old little small one-story cabin over there, just past that tower we passed on our left, supposedly that is gone. That was bulldozed by the town, or actually, maybe it was a controlled fire. I can't remember. I think it was a controlled fire. But there you go. That's the city of Manchester. Get a pretty good view from here by the power lines, and go for a little bit of a walk. Why not? This is another tower, obviously. Ooh, it's windy today. It's very windy. I believe today is a full moon. Wish there was a spot over here. It'd be nice if there was a cleared off spot where you could get a good view of the good solid view of Manchester. There really isn't. And so you're just kind of left with little small pockets where you can get just a little bit of a photo of the city. You can't really get a full skyline, panoramic shot over here. That's a new noise. I don't know what that is. It's an odd noise. It's a weird whistle. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go. Let's go check out. Got some graffiti over here. Oh, terrible choice of shoes today. I do not have boots on. And I'm regretting that at the moment. Let's go check out what's left of the two-story house. Okay. Well, at least landing in leaves doesn't hurt all that much. Alright, so there's left to this place. Oh man. I remember when this was a house. This was a two-story house. In, well, 10 years ago. 10 years ago was the first time I came out here. 10 years and a few months. Probably would have been early August, late August of 2014 is, I believe, when I came here for the first time. Yeah, there's not much left. There's an old school bathtub in there. This whole section was completely vertical and standing up still. Some of the roof had been collapsed. But this house was a house. 10 years ago, this was still a house. It hadn't collapsed under its own weight, essentially, yet. It's kind of what it's looking like. For those of you who comment regularly about, I get that comment every once in a while about, you know, how you would be brave enough to come out here to whatever location late at night, you know, prowling around off the beaten path in sketchy places and all that kind of stuff. The thing is that I have a wireless device that is legal to carry in New Hampshire that makes that less of an issue. I don't really get scared. And if it's my time, it's my time. But, it'd have to be somebody who would already be waiting in ambush. And extremely unlikely. I go to abandoned places, not places where there's crime and drugs. So, it's actually not that dangerous, believe it or not. It's quite safe. It looks sketchy. It looks creepy. But actually quite safe. Now let's go for a walk. Keep going over here. There's some trails here that... I'm trying to pause this video because somebody wants to see jumpy, annoying footage. Oh boy. There's the tower. Is that what's making all that noise? Ooh, what's this? What's this reflective? Oh, glass. It's a piece of glass. I thought it was something reflective. There's Manchester. You know our story. Kind of did a big circle, a big loop, trying to find a break in the trees here to get some pictures of Manchester. Again, it's always been kind of tough. There's too many trees here, and everywhere that there is a spot you theoretically could get a decent shot of the city, there's houses. And these people have, it's actually what the heck is it called? Airbnb over here. I don't know if it's that whole house or just half of it or something, but they do have an amazing view of the city. I am kind of jealous. You guys can see the radio towers off in the distance. Got an amazing zoom on this thing, might as well use it. Check that out. That's downtown Manchester. That's the music something or other place next to. Anyway, there's a chocolate place and that place right next to each other on Elm Street is downtown. The American flag flying proud. That's also, so that's more downtown. I'm not sure which building that is. Maybe one of the hospitals or something? Not important. There you have more downtown. So there's blue and red lights in the bottom right. That's Elm Street. It's very recognizable as Elm Street because of those lights. It's been the case for years. Just walking by the light of the moon here. That wasn't a strategic choice, but I'm glad I made that choice to come up here when there's a full moon. That was a good call. Again, I wish I could get, it's like you look over here and you think, oh, if you walk a little further you'll get a good view of the city, but no, you really can't. You really can't get a decent view of the city from anywhere over here, but kind of get some shots through the trees, I suppose. Alright, let's go back to you know what, I'm gonna go back to the car and drive over to the other section. I don't feel like walking that distance tonight. I'm tired. Put my car close by. Never had any issues here, but you just never know. Alright. I'm gonna drive over. Ooh. So that's where I just walked. To the collapsed abandoned house. I mean, most of the houses here are not abandoned anymore. I was gonna say they're all abandoned, but obviously not. There's houses there. I just showed you guys. What I mean to say is all the old houses on that side of the mountain, the ones that were here, most of them are gone, and at one point a lot of them were abandoned. Alright, so I'm gonna park over here so I'm not blocking the gate. To get a registration for everything, of course. I don't know if this is going to show up on video very well. There's the tower here that we're looking at. It's practically above us. You get the full moon. There's another tower, and there's two more over here. There's a whole series of towers here. So the whole idea is that this is a high point in and around Manchester, New Hampshire. So this whole area, a lot of it is serviced. You know, the cell towers are placed perfectly here in terms of taking care of the city, but also west of the city towards Milford, Nashua, all that stuff. Nashua's more south, but you get the point. At one point, I had a diesel Mercedes that I drove all the way out here. Actually, I drove my square body truck out here too. I've driven a couple of vehicles all the way out here. But it's really kind of a hit or miss whether it's a good idea. Holy cow, yeah, it really is gone. Oh man, this is sad. This is very sad. There's basically nothing left. Holy cow. They burned it. And was it on purpose, or was it a controlled burn? I don't know. Huh. But that's it. That's what's left of it. Well, that's a bummer. Alright, so through here, down just a short walk, is a clearing. Unfortunately, the angle is not ideal to see the city and everything, but you can see from here, you can actually see a lot of mountain ranges. Well, if it was daytime, it would be easy to point out some of the neighboring mountains and whatnot. Yeah, this is check that out. Pretty cool. Trees above us here. I was here in the fog one time. I believe this is on YouTube. I think I posted it. I was in the fog. I was here in the fog, and a 737 Southwest Airlines, a Southwest Airliner 737 Boeing, was doing its final approach, but rounding the hillside here, the mountainside, and it was wild because you just heard and saw this gigantic plane, but it was just barely visible through the clouds, and all the you know, it was very humid and very foggy that day. So that's south on Canunic, what you're looking at right now. That's the south. Or is that north? Oh, I always forget. You know what? No, I think that's north. I believe we are on Mount Canunic south. That's north. I've said this a million times, a million videos, but this is the first thing you ever watch from this part of the world, just so you know. So, the Uncanunics are visible from all over the city. From all over Manchester, almost any point in Manchester, you can see the Uncanunics. They're very prominent, and they, like those photos you see of Colorado, where you can see all the mountains off in the distance. So it's kind of like that. The Uncanunics kind of dominate the horizon to the west, and they were named by the Native Americans Uncanunics because it means something along the lines of the breasts of the young maiden, something along those lines, because it is remarkable how they're very symmetrical. They're very plump looking, very round. It's just a perfect sort of shape to make that analogy. That's kind of been a thing forever, is that, you know, if you know, you know, but most people don't know, but I happen to know. That's what they're named after. Yeah, so we got one of the big towers over here. It's a beautiful night, I should say. My days and nights are all messed up because of my dirt shift job. This is my time to be awake. Normally I'd be in the middle of my shift at the machine shop, going into my first break. It's 1 in the morning. Yeah, there you go. That's I'll keep rolling for a little while longer here so you can get the sort of walk back to the car. If you like walking around in creepy woods and seeing cool stuff and you live within driving distance of Manchester, New Hampshire, get in your car and put your GPS to Summit Road in Goffstown, New Hampshire. And please God, don't come up here and trash the place and litter. Whenever I give out locations, people get mad at me because so many people just litter and destroy places. So don't do that. Man, the moon is wild today. I got some photos of it yesterday too. Yeah, please don't litter. Please don't be an a-hole. Don't come up here and drink alcohol. It's not a good spot. And by the way, the cops do patrol this area, so this just isn't a good place for nefarious activity. I have gotten pulled over just trying to leave here. Like a cop pulled up right up to me as I was getting in my car and driving away. I actually had my square body Chevy truck, and I showed him the photos of, that I was up here taking pictures, and he still ended up giving me a ticket for no inspection sticker, which I thought was kind of a jerk move, but whatever. Technically he was right. Yeah, there you go. Back at the BMW, I'm gonna head home. Get a long drive.